that first. But yeah, so I really don't know what I want to say. Ooh, that lens is still dirty. I mean, I do, but let's figure out how we're going to start this off. But let's clean this lens off. All right, there we go. That's much better. You know, I ain't got lights, you know, going up and down, making halos. Sorry, I'm a photographer, so I pay attention to stuff like that. Like, I see a lot of y'all's photos and videos and stuff, and I'll be like, dude, clean that freaking lens off, man. Like, that bothered me so bad. But all I'm really here to talk about is this place we live in, man, this country. If you hear a bunch of wind noise, sorry, my heat does not turn off once I turn it on. I gotta make that decision once per time I start up my car. So if I turn it on, if I want it off, I'm gonna have to turn the car off. I don't know what's wrong with it and why it's been doing that. But man, so like, you mean to tell me, right? So I don't know if y'all been hearing, but we've been getting a lot of war threats, a lot of like rumors of war. And I know somebody gonna say, but we've been hearing that forever. It's like, not like this. Like there is actual factual war breaking out everywhere. Literally. It just like a missile ain't hit us yet, but it's missiles hitting everybody right now. You know, and I really sit back and I think about how, like, I remember times when the very people y'all argued over, like, to have in office, gave these countries billions of dollars. They turned around, built militaries on them, and now they're enemies of the United States. Oh, this is what I'm using to charge my phone. Sorry. They turned around, built militaries off the billions of dollars we gave them, and they turned their weapons against the United States and the United States' allies, which is Israel and whatnot. Like, I know a lot of people got their opinions about all of that, and that's fine. But I'm not really here to talk about who's right or who's wrong, because I think it's all wrong. Like, literally, like everything is just all wrong. It's just all wrong, but at the same time, it's actually right too. You know, sometimes what's wrong can actually be what's right. It's just how you look at it, right? But like, this was all supposed to fall apart. It was meant to, right? So that's what's right about it, is that it was just supposed to fall apart. In a way, I'm actually kind of glad it is. I ain't lying. Like, a lot of people get all sad and upset about the economy getting ready to crash. I'm like, just crash it, man. I'm sick of this place anyway. Just crash it. Heck, like, that'd give me a break off of slaving myself half to death to keep up with everything, right? Like, if it ain't nothing to keep up with, no way to keep up with it, fine. That leaves me free to do what I need to do, right? And that's to get the gospel out to every creature, without worrying about what I'm gonna do for work, or how we gonna pay for this. Ain't nobody got a way to do it. Oh well, figure it out, right? Like I hate everything about, well, not everything about, because there is some things that I would actually miss if I was to live somewhere like Iran. Like, I would hate to live in Iran. I would hate to live in Dubai. I would hate to live in Israel right now. I would hate to live in, like, the only place I actually would like to live in is Russia. And I'm not on the side of Russia. Like, I'm not political at all. I don't take any sides, no left, no right, like, no, none of that. No pro this, pro that. Like, I'm not a pro political party person, period. Right? Like, I know a lot of Christians, they all take the Trump train. It's like, you know what? Like, I still think, like everybody got a real good point of view for why they do, right? Because the Democratic Party, like, it's too clearly anti ways of God, right? Like it's too clear to see that. But then it's like taking in the whole Trump train, it still misses the point, right? Like being anti-democratic because you're a Christian and being a conservative still misses the point. And so that's why I choose not to be part of none of it, because it's like just because you can see like all the wicked ways of the Democratic Party, like doesn't mean be a conservative. It still misses the point, because what a lot of people don't see is the simple fact that the very people in the Republican Party, the very conservatives, the very like, how do I say this without saying his name, right? Like the person that's going up against the other person, like what y'all don't know is that they are still a part of Luciferian cults. So it's almost like, well, what do you want? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know if people understand, but arguing about politics is almost like arguing over whether you would rather wear a pair of FUBU shoes or a pair of Shaqs, right? Like, all you really arguing over is which way you want to fall apart, right? Like that's pretty much it. Like all you really fighting over is how you want to fall apart. Like nobody's gonna change anything. Like if anything's gonna change for the worse, but it's gonna change for the worse no matter who we elect, right? Now I remember somebody told me that I need to vote Democrat because I'm black. I'm like, that's what black people's problem has been all along. But like y'all let everybody use being black against you to be able to have you voting for your own demise. But then on top of that, like, we all know that nobody's votes have ever mattered anyway. But so like, why do we still argue this stuff? It's like every single time somebody make promises, if we elect them, we always get mad because they never do what they say they gonna do. Or they might do what they say they gonna do, but it comes with like a hook, right? It's like, yeah, like imagine us all as fish. And they say, if you elect me, I'll give you this worm. And it's like, they do give you the worm, but now you got a hook in your mouth on top of that. And it's like, we always get mad about the very people we argued over after the 4 years is up. But now we all mad at the very people we argue over, and the stuff go over and over and over and over and over. It's like everybody jump up for the next person as if they wasn't just mad at the very person they was just jumping up and down for the last 4 years ago. It's like when do anybody just be like, you know what? Okay, yeah, you know what? I can kind of see something here. Like, look, I know I got at least one person who actually thought about it like that. Like I remember when we was all crying because Obama got elected. Oh, the first black man. I wonder if he can fly. And then it's like, now everybody mad because they losing their jobs. But now everybody mad because like they lost their health insurance through their jobs over Obamacare. That happened to me. Like I had great health insurance through a job I had. I had full of this, full of that, all for the kids, everybody, the whole family get insurance through the job. Obamacare. Okay, now only you get it. But like, it's not even that only I get it. I only get half of what I did get. Like, so, and it's like, yeah, so like if you want health insurance for the rest of your family, like you got to get Obamacare. And that's also like low-end care on top of that. It's all because of Obamacare. It's like, man, like then it happened again. Then it happened again. Then it happened again. I know a lot of people like Trump. Right? Like when Trump was in office, a lot of people liked him. But what they didn't see was that like they only liked him for him. Right? Like what they didn't see is all the stuff that still got done wrong. Not just because Trump was in office, but not even because of Trump. But just while he was there, a lot of stuff that still got put in play that's plaguing us to this day, like that all happened while he was there. Like, he could have been as good of a president as he wanted, but some things presidents just don't like have control over. So it's like, but we put all our stock in who we vote for and not even know that the very reason we voted for these people, it never even really do what we want it to do anyway. Like, all we doing is just exciting ourselves over nothing, arguing over I think my FUBU shoes better than your Shaqs. Well, at least my Shaqs got a famous basketball player on them. But yeah, I mean, they all gonna fall apart in 3 months. So it's not like you got a pair of J's mixed in there somewhere, right? Like, because I don't know if anybody know. It don't matter which president you get, it's still gonna fall apart. All you really voting on, and that's if, and that's if your vote matter anyway. Because like everybody can get as many votes as they want to get, but like they all still pick who they want. Like, they still got to go through the electoral college. Right, like, let's just say Trump got the most votes, and then the electoral college say, well, you know what, I still think Kamala. And it's like, so what was the point in doing all of that? Like, I think we all missed that part. But at the same time, like, you know, a lot of people will try and make it sound like, well, it is your God-given right to vote. Like, you know, like, I understand what people mean when they say that, you know, but either way, America is still gonna crash. All you really getting excited about is how it's gonna crash. Like, do you want to crash with her there, or do you want to crash with him there? I mean, like, we still got major war happening everywhere. The U.S. is heavily involved in a whole lot of it. It's just that everybody is really anticipating on who's gonna be the one to throw the first missile our way. And we gave all these people the money. China, Iran. I mean, Biden gave Iran billions of dollars, and now Iran is, like, you know, turning all their weapons against us. Like, I remember at a point in time, somebody told me, well, you know, as a Christian, you need to vote for Biden because Trump is going to bring about the end of the world. And I'm like, but I think as a Christian, I probably should just leave it all alone. Like, to be honest, like, that would be the more logical answer. Like, if you want to mix the word Christian in there, I think leaving it all alone would be the more logical answer, right? Oh, and then his vice president, what she did at the border, like, all of that stuff mattered. But then it's like, a lot of people don't see that when Trump was in office, like, he did a lot of things, or I mean, he condoned a lot of things that still worked against us. Like, I remember when I can't actually say what this is because then it's going to tip the algorithm and they're going to shadow ban my video. Like, it's kind of crazy how you can't even use actual real words without just being knocked off, right? But they put, just look at my video and just put the letter G at the end of this. G, right? Like a bunch of little cell phone type. Like, all of those is military grade weapons. Like, all of that can be turned against us as crowd control at any point in time. Like I don't know if people understand, like, gigahertz and stuff like that. Like, it's all in our phones, it's all in our Bluetooth headsets. Like, all of that stuff is biological signals. Like, why put a biological signal in there? Because that stuff can be tuned, like, them frequencies can be tuned and they can make people go crazy. Like all of them frequencies can be tuned and they can change people's behavior. Oh, and that was your beloved president, Mr. Trump, that said, I want this. America has to be on top of this. And it's like, but I thought, like, it's mostly Christians that talk against that stuff being implemented. But at the same time, it's mostly Christians saying this guy is gonna change America. It's like y'all crazy. No, he's not going to change America. Like, I'm just being all the way honest with you. Like, Trump is not the chosen man of God. He's not gonna save us. Like, he's not gonna change gas prices. Like, he can't change food price. Like, prices is just not one of them things presidents control. It's the people that own the companies. And the people that own the companies, like they say what they want to charge for stuff. Right? Like, that's like Trump telling me, well, if everybody that clean carpet, they're going to have to charge this much money. Bull crap. Like, who are you to tell me how much money I should charge for what I do? Right? Like, that's the same as assuming a president is going to fix gas prices. But everybody just believe the stuff. And it's like, every time we turn around, it might go on for like a good 3 months, 2 weeks, something like that. Like, man, gas was just $2.50 a gallon, $3 a gallon, $3.20 if you take premium. And like, it was like that for about a good 2 weeks, week maybe. Shot right back up. Like, I don't think presidents are here to fix stuff. They're not. America is like a land built on blood and sweat sacrifice. Rent through the roof. Jobs don't even pay enough to be able to live a comfortable life after rent. Well, if you want a vehicle, you might have to get a car note. On top of that, we force you to get insurance. And that's also through the roof sometime. And then even if you got it, it's still a scam. Like, and then you look around and you just live every day of your life for a bill to pay. Every day. Every day of your life is ate up on catching up with bills. I hate this place. I hate it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I absolutely do. I wish I could take my kids and jump off somewhere else. And then I got problems like, but I don't even know the language they speak. Oh, dang, that's another problem. Like, how am I even going to say, can I get an applicant? Like, where do I apply for a job? Like, how do I even communicate that to somebody? You know, like, I'm like, how do you even go look for a house? You don't even know how to speak the language. Like how do you do all that? Like, you just got to start all the way from the bottom. Like, you just got dropped off on some strange planet and you don't even know what a toilet looks like, you know? It's just crazy, man. The whole thing is flipped upside down. And you want to know what? It's only going to get worse. I keep telling everybody almost every day, like, your only answer is God. It's not Trump. It's not Kamala. It's not voting. It's not picking a side. Your only answer is plugging in with God. That's it. Like, that's all you got. And for a long time, it's like America took the gospel for granted, right? Because for a long time, we always sat around comfortable. I sit as a queen and nothing is ever gonna happen to me. And then in one single hour, Mystery Babylon the Great is destroyed. All the merchants of the earth became rich off of her luxuries and all of these other things. And yeah, it all just burns up. Like, I sound like a crazy man. I really do. Like, sometimes I really be sitting back thinking, like, I sound like one of them old men that think everything's the devil. That's the devil, sweetie. Like, sometimes I do feel like I sound that way, but I know I'm right, though. Right? Like it's one thing if you don't know you sound crazy. It's another thing if you know you sound crazy and you still know you right. Right? Like, I don't want to just sound crazy just because it's what I think. Like, that's stupid. I'm only willing to sound crazy if I know I'm right. Like if I was just sitting here telling you some conspiracy theory that we can't verify or backtrack or find evidence of, it's almost like, yeah, who's to say? Like, you know what I'm saying? I might just keep that in the back of my mind. I'm not that much of a talkative person anyway. So like, I don't want to be talkative to sound crazy for no good reason. Like if I'm going to sound crazy, I'm going to have to actually be right. Like, I tell my wife that all the time. Sometimes she'd be like, you always think you're right. I'm like, have you ever noticed that I'll never sit around confronting you about this, picking with you about that, trying to correct this or that every single time I see something a little off the wall? Like, you ever notice I always just kind of sit back and I just be like, oh, man, that's crazy. Like, I just be kind of like that in the back of my mind, like, oh, man, that's crazy. But then it's like when I finally do say something, I actually know I'm right. Like, I don't just say stuff because that's what I want to say or that's what I'm feeling like. I actually got to know I'm right in order to say something at all, because I don't even like saying stuff all the time anyway. Like, I would be fine being left alone, never having to say a word. Honestly. So like if I'm gonna even talk about it, I don't want to just be talking about the way I feel about it. I don't want to be talking about my take on it, my opinion, my point of view. Like, what good is that? Only a fool delights in airing out his own opinions. And I don't really think I'm an idiot. I don't. I've done some idiotic stuff for like really good reasons. You know, I mean, they backfire on me. I saw that happening anyway. You know, I was just trying to hope for once that not everything is as bad as I think it is. Come to find out, it is. So, my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like that be my whole reason for making dumb decisions. Sometimes I know they dumb already. I'm just hoping to God that maybe everything ain't always what I think it is. Come to find out, it is. All right, my fault. Won't do that again. But I don't think y'all know. Like, we are really getting ready to be shook up here. Like, we are. Like, we getting ready to be woke up out of our sleep. We are. We get ready to be kicked off the video games. We get ready to be kicked off the TV. We get ready to be kicked off Facebook. And we ain't gonna have nothing else to do but to face reality. This place deserves judgment. It was built off slave labor in the first place. And then we got the nerve to say, God bless America, built off slave labor, feeding babies to alligators and whipping people and hanging folk. Building the place off slave labor, and God is blessing us. Sounds about right to me. If I was God, I probably wouldn't. Like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like that's why I'm glad I'm not God. Like, because I would hate to have to make decisions like that. It's like, man, you got all these people here that ain't have nothing to do with all the bad stuff that this country was built on. Now, how do I make a choice like that? All these innocent babies that still, like, they don't know nothing about none of this. Like, how do I judge a place like this? And the whole time their leaders are sitting around pulling wicked strings behind closed doors to get ahead. It's like, man, come on. Like, please don't put me in this situation, y'all. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh, please just don't. That's why it took so long for anything to even come about. Because God just be sitting there like, man, come on, don't make me have to do this. Oh, come on, America, just don't make me. Well, you done gave billions of dollars to Iran, and now they get ready to wage war with the money, and one of the missiles is gonna come your way. You know what? Instead of me doing it, you can do it to yourself. Oh, and guess what? Guess who did it? All the people who wanted Trump out of office so bad. Get him out and put Biden in. As long as we got somebody other than that Trump, we don't care what he does, as long as it ain't Trump. Why? Because the TV told you to?
Like all because you never shut off the news. That's why you think that, because you just don't turn off the news. It's just news. Mainstream news ran by devils. And you believe it? You're crazy. Oh, you believe it because you don't know it's ran by devils. That's why. Like, you just don't know that. And if you did know, you probably still believe it. Because you don't know what else to believe in. It's like everybody needs something to believe in. That was put in us by God, hoping that it would be him. And everybody make their choice every day. I believe in the elections. I believe in my vote. I believe in my right to abortion. I believe in my right to do that. I believe in my right. It is my right. Look, I'm gonna be honest with everybody. Sometimes I say this to some people I know who always talk about it. It is my right. It is my right. It is my right. And some of the stuff that they talk about being their right be like stuff that don't even make sense. But I want everybody to know this. It's also your right to be damned to hell too if you want to be. I hate having to say that to people. It's also your right to go to heaven too. It's your right to do good to people, and it's your right to do wrong to people. It's your right to believe in something that's going to fall apart. It's your right to believe in what won't fall apart. It's your right to come outside and smell the air. You know? Like everybody's got a lot of rights to a lot of stuff. But the sad part about it is that like we don't always take our rights and our free will and put them in the right things. You know, God said, I have set life and death before you. Let me say that again. He said that he was the one who put life and death before you. Why? So that you can make an actual logical and informed decision to choose life on purpose, not accidentally, but on purpose, and have it more abundantly. That is why we got so much evil around it. It's so easy to do wrong. It's easy to take from somebody. It's easy to take somebody's life. It's like it's easy to just lie. It's easy to steal. It's easy to believe in whatever you want to believe in. It's just too easy to do that. But guess what? Just because it's there, just because it's all we ever hear, just because it's what we know, it don't make it the right thing. And I want y'all to know this. It don't matter who make all the promises about what they gonna do if they get elected. It's still gonna fall apart. You only get 24 hours in a day. And do you want to spend every bit of your 24 hours putting all your stock in a person? I mean, both of them are in satanic cults. You know, I mean, one of them is a high level witch. Another one is a part of the Knights of Malta. It's like, I don't know if y'all know this, but they're all wicked. So either way, you're only really arguing for which wicked you want. I hate to have to break that to a lot of pro-Trump Christians and stuff, but I think a lot of y'all take that too far. Like, you know, it's one thing for people that don't claim to be a believer in Jesus and stuff, and that's all they know. Like, yeah, like I get it, like you know, and but it's another thing to be a Bible believer and you just so ate up over Trump. Why? Don't you own a Bible? Is there not a God in heaven who has a kingdom who's gonna come one day that you should be ate up over? All this time we argue about which politic is the best and who did this and you shouldn't vote for them. And like, don't we also know in the back of our mind somewhere that our votes really don't count anyway? It's like our way of observing things and then making, I don't want to say decisions, but it's like our way of observing things through our life, and then the things that we promote as the thing to do, it could sometimes it could be kind of hypocritical. Like I think people can be hypocritical accidentally, and like I understand, you know what I'm saying? I totally do. Like it's so easy to end up being hypocritical sometime, and that's the whole reason for why iron sharpens iron and one man sharpens the countenance of his friend, because it's easy to go off course with how you like it's easy to kind of sway to the left or to the right as far as what you believe. Like, I mean, yeah, like overall you might still be in the middle, but it's just a little too far to the right, and it's just a little too far to the left. Just be in the middle of the road. I don't care about none of it. People ask me, who you voting for? Nobody. Well, why? Well, do you want to see change come to America? It's not. Not for the better, at least. Well, dang. And you want to know what kind of person people got the biggest problem with? Not people who believe in the opposite side of the politic realm as far as them. No, they got the biggest problem with people that think it's all stupid. You want to know why? Because they basically telling them, I think your world is stupid. That's kind of what you saying in a way without saying it. But I'm gonna say it though. Like I might not say it to your face, like probably not all the time. You know, like I've had to say it to a couple people's faces in my lifetime, and oh man, you should have seen it. Beat red hot instantly, just, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, like I think it's all just stupid. Oh, did you hear about Diddy? I'm surprised you just now finding that out. We've been talking about the whole industry for years. They're all like that. The only reason he got put on the news like that is because they did to him what they did to Bill Cosby. Like, y'all remember when Bill Cosby tried to buy NSNBC, and then all of a sudden all his dirt got put out and they dug up 40 years worth of stuff, and he wanted to buy it because he wanted a station for black people because black people wasn't being treated fairly, and he just wanted to do the black thing. And they like, no. And since you're trying to do that, we're gonna punish you for it. And Diddy tried to sue Diageo because of what? Racial discrimination. And then next thing you know, he ended up with all his dirt out there. But they've been knowing all this for years. Everybody did. Like, why is he just now in trouble? Just now? I mean, come on, like the simple fact that he's just now in trouble don't even make sense to me. The simple fact that everybody just now starting to believe this, that don't even make sense. The simple fact that he like one of the only ones to get in trouble about it don't make sense. It's some other to like it's something other than that to that. Like that don't excuse everything he done, but they all do it. All of your favorite superstars are just like Diddy. All of them. So that brings me back to what I'm saying. Your world is stupid. The whole thing. So now that we got that understood, remember when I said arguing over politics is like fighting over which pair of shoes you want to wear. A pair of FUBUs or a pair of Shaqs. Well, either way, they're going to fall apart. So a little too quickly, that is, because all shoes fall apart. And then I said, well, it's not like you got a pair of J's in there. I mean, maybe that might be a easy choice to make. You know, pair of Shaqs, pair of FUBUs. It's like, well, I mean, but it's not like it's a pair of J's in there. So, and Jesus is the only way. He is. Not Trump, not Kamala, not Donald, not Harris. Not none of them. It's not going to work. It's all going to come crumbling down. All you argue over, all you voting for is how you want to crash, but you're not voting for whether or not we do. Like, you're just voting for how we're going to do it. But either way, you can't fix the economy. There is no fixing the stock market. There is no getting out of war. It's gone too far for too long. It's over. It's just time to plug in with God, man. And then you hear somebody say that, you be like, well, how do you do that though? Like, have y'all ever asked that question? It's like, you need to get right with God, but then you just sit back and think, but like, how? Like, how do I do that? I don't know who I would be outside of being the me that I am right now. Like, where do I go? Like, do I just go knock on the first, like, do I go knock on the door of the first building I see with a cross on it? No. A lot of them buildings ran by devils. I'm just keeping honest with you. A lot of them buildings with crosses on the front of the doors are ran by Freemasons and all of that other kind of stuff. Just being real. I'm sure nobody would want me to say that. And if they ain't, it's just the gummy bear gospel that ain't going to change you. All it talk about is how to be a better person on earth. You know, how to have godly hope in things that only really benefits earth. Like how to attach God to stuff that don't matter. That's pretty much long story short. But hardly anybody will actually tell you a gospel that will provoke you to change and plug in with God, to seek him for the Holy Ghost, to be born again and do exploits. Like, when's the last time y'all actually seen in real time somebody lay their hands on a sick person and see them recover? When's the last time y'all seen that? When's the last time you seen a demon cast out? In real time. Like, not no fake stuff. Somebody fall on the floor and start crying and that's about it. No, like the real deal stuff. When's the last time you seen that? When's the last time you heard about it? When's the last time seeking for the Holy Ghost has ever been a primary thing? Because that is your only way to be a child of God. You do know that, right? No Holy Ghost. No child of God. I'm just keeping it real with you. Like, without the Holy Ghost being your proof of purchase, then you pretty much just got your whole Christian world in your head. That's it. Like, your whole child of God perspective is just stuff that's in your head. That's all. Yeah, you might got a few favorite worship songs. Yeah, you might got a favorite preacher or two. Yeah, you might got a suit or two and a nice big Bible with a bunch of dust on it. But let's just be honest, though. This place, there's nothing left here. I've done everything with my life that I thought I could do, and I still got stuff to check off my bucket list. In fact, I probably fulfilled about maybe 5% of all the things I wanted to do in my life. 5%, bro. And I pretty much live like 30% of it. So maybe even 40. So I'm kind of running a little behind the curve on what it is I originally thought that my purpose here was. So like that's almost a pointless fight to fight. Only thing left to do, plug in with God. That's it. Because at the end of the day, everything we stress over is all going to come to a halt. And we're going to have nothing else to do but to look at the real us in the mirror and wonder, what did all my time go to? What did all my stressing go to? Like, what did all my frustration go to? What did all my blood, sweat, and tears go to? just to end up here at the end of all of it. I mean, just to be in the middle of nuclear war anyway. Like, just to have the government overthrown by make-believe communists, make-believe Nazis, who are highly decorated and very skilled in the gift of oratory and making promises they never ever fulfill, and if they do, they come with a hook. It's like, y'all crazy. Heck, I'm crazy. I don't want to be crazy though. I don't think I am. I just know I can be if I want it to be. You know, but I don't want to be. So my only answer is the same answer I'm giving everybody else. Plug in with God. There's nothing left to do. Nothing. Peace.